Good morning. My name is Second Lieutenant Courtney Cowell, your Master of Ceremonies, and I welcome you today to our annual White Coat Ceremony. This ceremony has been an important part of USU culture for nearly 20 years. Though this is an honored tradition for our university, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge that the virtual format in which we celebrate the occasion is unprecedented. We are here to welcome our newest colleagues into the medical profession in a time where we so obviously need their bright minds to tackle some of the most challenging problems. Thank you to the class of 2024 for your attendance. I also want to extend a warm welcome to the family members, friends, and mentors who are virtually showing support for our medical students and the university on this momentous day. I also want to extend a special welcome to Dr. Louis Pangaro, Interim Dean of the F. Edward A. Baer School of Medicine, Colonel Patrick Donahue, Brigade Commander, Uniformed Services University, Dr. Catherine Kimball Ayers, Commandant of the F. Edward A. Baer School of Medicine, Dr. Pamela Williams, Associate Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Courtney Judd, Gold Humanism Honor Society faculty, Dr. Ramey L. Wilson, Deputy Director of Military Internal Medicine, and today's guest speaker. The Dermatomes, USU Student Choir, have recorded the national anthem for this ceremony. If you are able, please rise, and military members come to attention for the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. The USU chaplain, Commander David Alexander, has recorded the opening prayer for this ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to pray with me. O God, who raises up healers from the midst of every people and every place on this earth, we turn our thoughts to you as we open a ceremony unlike any other, a rite of passage for students preparing for a life of medical service to their communities. In ancient Greece, in the Asclepion of Kos and Thrace and Thessaly, students transitioned into their time of medical studies with a period of self-searching. In those times, just as it should rightly be today, the study of medicine presupposed strong character, an authentic compassion for the sick, an all-encompassing commitment to the vulnerable, no matter their ability to pay for services, a penchant for self-sacrifice, courage to render aid even in the time of plague. Students asked in those days, will I have what it takes in my time to walk in the footsteps of those who have come before me? Will I be able, in the end, to live my life in a way that is worthy of my calling? As our newest class of medical students take up their white coats today, we ask that you grant them divine help so that they may stand worthy of their calling, that when it is their time to put everything they've learned on the line for the sake of those in harm's way, they may stand tall like Dr. Carrie Langhorne during the Battle of Veracruz, Dr. Joel Boone at Bella Wood, Dr. Ben Solomon on Saipan, and so many warrior physicians who have taught us the meaning of character under fire. Grant them expanded minds and full hearts to take in everything they can in the coming years. We ask these things for the good of our nation and the good of our world. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. As a representative of USU's Gold Humanism Honor Society, I would like to speak briefly about Dr. Arnold P. Gold. As a professor at Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons, Dr. Gold noted that the practice of having students take the Hippocratic Oath at the end of their medical training unfortunately occurred 4 years too late, and therefore he established the first white coat ceremony at Columbia in 1993 to emphasize humanism in medicine at the start of medical education. Nearly every medical school in North America has subsequently adopted this practice. I would now like to introduce today's guest speaker, Dr. Ramey L. Wilson. Colonel Ramey Wilson is an officer and physician with a wide range of clinical and operational experiences. A former West Point graduate and former field artillery officer, he has leveraged his experience to provide expert advice and care in deployed command billets, operational units, and military hospitals. After graduating from the USU School of Medicine in 2002, he has spent the majority of his active duty career with operational forces, which have included 3 deployments to Afghanistan in various roles with conventional and special operations forces. Dr. Wilson returned to USU to complete his master's in public health in 2015 as a part of the General Internal Medicine Fellowship. Dr. Wilson's expertise bridges the domains of expeditionary medical care, medical force generation, and medical education. His most recent operational assignment as the Command Surgeon and Medical Director for Special Operations Command Africa built upon his significant experience in the requirements and challenges of developing and sustaining a health support system in austere locations. Returning to USU this summer, he now serves as faculty in the School of Medicine. Please welcome Dr. Wilson.
Hey, Ramey.
Yeah.
What are you up to?
Hey, what's up? Hey, thanks. Those are great ideas. Thanks, Josh. I was just talking to Josh Hartzell. He's trying to give me some good advice. He's over at the residency. I've been asked, by the class of 2024 to give some keynote or some comments as a faculty member to the white coat ceremony, and I'm busting my brains on trying to figure out what to say. I'm reviewing all these bios. I mean, this class is super impressive. I'm really feeling there's so much I want to say. I feel like it's such an important event. I really want to cover. So I've been mapping it out. I've been using the health systems approach to map out what this is looking like. And do I the whole Dr. Pangaro talking about a license to commit medicine, that just kind of rings in my head. What are those implications? Do I talk about the history of the white coat, how it's that synergy between the scientist and the caregiver, and how we need to artfully administer the science, but also remembering the patient at the center? Do I need to talk about expectations, like what patients expect when they see a white coat, but also what our system expects? And then this is crazy times. Do I talk about COVID and how their class is experiencing something that's new and it might be different, or I don't know. It's just I'm just trying to figure out what I'm kind of coming down with is the white coat ceremony is this thing that happens at the beginning of medical school that is common, I think, to a lot of medical students, that then sets the expectation, brings them into the community. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
I think you're way overthinking this. I mean, you've been in the military a long time. What messages have you received from senior leaders that have really been impactful to you?
Oh, well, actually, I've been thinking about that. So, I was in the audience in 1991 during Desert Storm as a cadet at West Point when, Norman Schwarzkopf talked about what leaders of the 21st century we're going to need.
To be a 21st century leader, you must have 2 things: competence and character.
Senior leaders, a lot of senior leaders during the Vietnam era had kind of had an erosion of integrity, and how we needed to be people of integrity if we were going to be leaders. So that's always been, something that was foundational for me as an officer. When I was a medical student, actually, General Carleton spoke in 1998 to also reflecting upon Desert Storm and creating this picture of how we needed to have mobile ICUs and CCAT teams. And then I heard him speak during my fellowship as part of my MPH. He talked about being an agent of change, that don't accept the status quo as the status quo, but ask the why question. And if you do need to make change, sometimes the answer is yes, sometimes no, but sometimes the answer is not yet. Maybe the conditions aren't quite right for it. So that's always been, I've always remembered that, thought about, when you're trying to do something new, it's not right. But one of my favorites, I'm sure a lot of the students have heard, Admiral McRaven's talk in 2014 at the University of Texas, where he talked about, make your bed every day, and that you start your day, that you show that excellence in doing the small things over and over again, get you ready to be responsible for bigger things.
Every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right.
A lot of those themes in there. It's like putting on that white coat, you're joining the brother and sisterhood of medicine. You're starting as a learner, as a novice. But the expectation is that you're going to grow in that, and you're going to take on more and more responsibilities. So, ultimately it's about being interoperable and deploying together, providing both the direct care and the expeditionary care. So I don't know, I'm just going over and over notes, but I don't know, what do you think?
Why don't you say all that?
Well, I only got 10 minutes.
Do you remember your white coat ceremony?
Yeah, USU.
Do you remember who spoke at your white coat ceremony?
I sure don't.
Well, then don't sweat it. Just remember the 3 B's. Be brief, be brilliant, and be gone.
All right, well, that's good advice. I'll do that. Thanks. Good morning. My name is Colonel Ramey Wilson, and I would like to thank the class of 2024 for the privilege and opportunity to provide some faculty comments for your white coat ceremony today. I sat in Lecture Hall C 22 years ago and remember the ceremony well and how I felt when I put that coat on for the very first time. Honestly, I felt like an imposter. I was just beginning my medical training. I knew nothing about disease or illness. I had no idea how to help others, and I was not particularly encouraged by our Dean of Student Affairs, who at the time reminded us that as the science of medicine continued to advance, there was a good chance a very significant part of what they were teaching us would end up being incorrect. The problem then, as it is now, is that they didn't know which half that was going to be. The American Medical Association states that the white coat ceremony for medical students, which is traditionally a shorter coat, signifies the beginning of a medical student's journey to achieve the long white coat, which you will wear when you are physicians. They go on to state that the white coat symbolizes a standard of professionalism and care and is an emblem of the trust you must earn from your patients. And it highlights the expectations of professionalism and humanism. Donning your coat today signifies your commitment to lifelong learning, to work to provide the best care possible to your patients, both in the clinic and hospital, but also on the battlefield. But I would argue that it means more than that. It also welcomes and formally recognizes you into the medical profession and connects and binds you to all of those who have, do, and will wear it in the future. Little did I know that I would one day put this coat on and it would instantly connect me with our colleagues in Afghanistan as I worked with Afghan physicians to help provide care to their countrymen and countrywomen. The coat transcends cultures, time, and differences that would otherwise conspire to separate us as a people. Little did I know when I put on my coat in 1998 that events 3 years later in 2001, while I was still a medical student, would transpire that would significantly change the trajectory and the purpose of my medical career. In these current times of transition and challenges associated with the COVID-19 pandemic, I'm sure that many of you have also wondered what your military and medical career will look like. So as you put this coat on, let me offer a few words of advice and encouragement. You've chosen a tough path, but it is worth it. You will be challenged, but you are up for it. There will be times when you will wonder why you chose it at all, and it's in those times that I want you to remember that nothing of worth comes without effort. So let's start with the end in mind. What do you want to be able to say at the end of your journey as a physician and officer? It should inform us on what we need to do from the beginning. If history repeats itself, it's likely that during your careers, Your country will likely call upon you to exercise the operational and expeditionary aspects of your training in support of combat operations. Now is the time that you must begin preparing for the care that you need to deliver with competency and compassion during the next conflict, no matter where that future battlefield is or what your role will be in that system. For some of you, that preparation began through military service before medical school. For many of you, it began when you accepted your offer to matriculate at the Uniformed Services University and you put on your uniform for the first time. Your preparation as a future clinician and medical leader are what we are formally recognizing you with today as you put on your coat. Welcome to the team. You will be a physician. You are already an officer. 2 oaths with one purpose, to serve those entrusted into your care. As you continue your journey, I would like to offer you the following advice that I've received from others that I have found useful and helpful in my own practice. Never compromise your integrity. Never give anyone any reason to question your motives or your competence. To be a leader in the 21st century, you must be a leader and clinician of competence and character. Be part of the solution. I don't know what all the problems are going to be in the future, but be a part of the solution. Learn the wisdom of when to act decisively and when to let a situation develop further before intervening. Sometimes we make the mistakes of rushing to failure. Strive to make things better and don't be afraid to rock the boat as long as you're doing it for the right reasons. Be excellent in the little things. I know that you will be asked to do things that may not make sense at the time. But excellence begets excellence, and this mentality will prepare you for greater responsibility and authority. Do the right thing even when others aren't. Do the right thing even when others aren't looking. Expect high standards of yourself and others. I want you to remember that every patient in front of you has others that love and care for them. No one lives forever, and death will definitely be an unexpected and unwelcomed guest during conflict. The reality is that you will have patients die, both in the hospital and on the battlefield. You must be ready, and you must make our system the best it can be so that when your patients die, you can look their family members in the eye and tell them that their loved ones got the best care possible, and that you yourself can sleep well knowing that you did your best and you were prepared. You must be ready. I don't mean that you think you're ready. You must demonstrate your readiness. So I encourage you to start and continue your journey with the end in mind. Be deliberate in your practice to be ready and pursue excellence in your character and your medical art. One final comment. Don't forget that we're all in this together. In the future, you will be part of multidisciplinary teams in all contexts of military healthcare. You cannot do it alone, and you should not try. Look out for each other and pick each other up when someone has to take a knee. Have the courage to ask for help when you are the one struggling. There will be times when you struggle. Be honest about it. But also look out for others when they're struggling, and be the friend to them that you're going to need when you're the one struggling. If we're not looking out for each other, nobody wins. I'd like to leave you with the lines of the Scout Vespers, which are traditionally sung around the campfire while one reflects on their day. I think it encapsulates a lot of what I've talked about today, and I would encourage for you to meditate on their concepts at the end of every day. Softly falls the light of day, while our campfire fades away. Silently, each one should ask, have I done my daily task? Have I kept my honor bright? Can I guiltless sleep tonight? Have I done and have I dared everything to be prepared? I welcome you into the tough, challenging, wonderful, and rewarding profession of military medicine. I look forward to serving with each and every one of you. Thank you for your service, and thank you for the honor of sharing my thoughts with you today. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wilson, for your wonderful remarks. Dr. Louis Pangaro, Interim Dean of the F. Edward A. Baer School of Medicine, will now lead the class of 2024 in the donning of their white coats. This will be followed by a slideshow presentation of the class of 2024, after which the Dean will administer the oath of Hippocrates.
Class of 2024. Wearing the white coat symbolizes your entry into the profession of medicine. At this time, please don your white coats.
Joy Abram, Olivia Ige, Danielle Allen, Daniel Armstrong, Philip Aubrey, Autumn Augustine, Zachary Bailey, Rachel Balcom, Marion Joy Blewett, Nicole Barnes, Austin Barton, Caleb Bateman, Andrew Bain, Joshua Burke, James Bishop, Nathan Boss, Gartrell Bowling, Russ Burgen, Rachel Burris, Danielle Kane, Hannah Campbell, Addison Cantor, John Caraway, Anthony Caskey, Keenan Caswell, Ka Chan, Eric Chang, Sam Chatverdi, Heaven Cho, Eliana Clemmer, Caitlin Croft, Emmanuel Quaves, Lance Koljak, Amanda Dow, Jimmy Dawood, Michael Deegan, Devin Defoe, Jolie Duffner, Jeffrey Dunn, Samuel Eads, Lauren Edmondson, Ethan Elkins, Dane Fishburne, Kathleen Flanagan, Reed Garner, Lucas Gatton, Samuel Gentle, Kevin Gladden, Peter Glott, Alex Goggin, Robert Golden, Charles Goodman, Andrew Greenhawk, Lionel Goomiready, Ashley Halverson, Matthew Hamilton, Jacqueline Hamrick, Aaron Hedgelin, Carly Heinz, Eric Holm, John Carner Hallman, Joseph Hong, Ryan Hotchkiss, Binyam Hundido, Elizabeth Hookey. Catherine Eisensee, Almaz Jamankulov, Amelia Joyce, Santosh Kachpati, Anuj Kambalia, David Karapuda, Jacob Keith, Kiana Keller, Lauren Kent, Matthew Kisenek, Cassandra Kijek, Aaron Kilgore, Esther Kim, Nathan Coe, Christopher Kohama, Marcus Kunisman, Marina Kuchman, Somin Kwan, Sunuk Kwan, Cecilia Lambie, Ariella Lee, Corbin Lee, Timothy Lee, Joseph Lamond, Elizabeth Leonard, Stephen Lee, Patrick Lisco, Jonah Leewag, Zoya Mahajan, Taylor Mallory, Kyle Manitz, Joseph Meng, Grace Mano, Lauren Manwaring, Laura Martin, Tyler Martin, Andrea Maudlin, Evangelia Mavro Georges, Matthew McDonough, Madeline McGuffey, Estefania Nilo, Jamie Menke, Hannah Mills, Nicholas Molinelli, Daniel Morset, Aubrey Mount, Aiden Murick, Alexander Murray, Alexander Nardoni, Andrew Nelson, Trey Nettles, Anviet Nguyen, Victoria Nguyen, Taylor Nolf, Courtney O'Keefe, Maya Ogimbo, Benjamin Phelps, Robert Pickering, James Pierre, Nathan Perron, Christopher Hopma, Caitlin Porter, Amber Powell, Diana Powers, Prunav Ravichandran, Ryan Raymoon, Thomas Renner, Mary Rowby, Sarah Rodriguez, Alexandra Rosling, Emmanuel Romulus, Eric Russell, Samantha Salcido, Nje Saraf, Maria Sauro, Hunter Sauerland, Michaela Scanlon, Jocelyn Scott, Julius Shepard, Margaret Shields, Carly Skellington, Noah Smith, John Solomon, Ken Song, Jonathan Spirnak, AJ Steinlage, Zach Stetzner, Prakash Swagaluganathan, Lily Swope, Joseph Tang, Jennifer Tang, Robert Trent, Riley Tucker, Reese Tuckerman, Radhika Tiagi, Gabriel Vargas, Aaron Vest, Taylor Walworth, Annie Wang, Caitlin Waring, Mackenzie Weaver, Bobby Weischer, Elena White, Laura Weissenberger, Joshua Wilberg, Renee Wilson, Perry Weissman, Felix Yang, Rona Yu, Georgia Zdanowitz.
I now invite all physicians and the students of the class of 2024 to raise their right hands and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will be loyal to the profession of medicine and just and generous to its members, that I will lead my life and practice my art in uprightness and honor, that into whatsoever home I shall enter, it shall be for the good of the sick and the well, to the utmost of my power, and that I will hold myself aloof from wrong and from corruption and from the tempting of others to vice, that I will exercise my art solely for the cure of patients and the prevention of disease, and will give no drugs and perform no operation for a criminal purpose, and not even suggest such a thing. That whatsoever I shall see or hear of the lives of men, which is not fitting to be spoken, I will keep secret. These do I promise. And in proportion as I am faithful to this oath, may happiness and good repute be ever mine. The opposite if I shall be forsworn. Congratulations, class of 2024. You may lower your hands.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pangaro. It is my pleasure to introduce a message from retired Army Colonel Dr. Robert Mabry, the Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Health Affairs. Dr. Mabry is a USU graduate from the class of 1999, and as an Army physician, he contributed to the development of the Combat Application Tourniquet, which brought about landmark changes in the Army's Combat Lifesaver program. Dr. Mabry deployed overseas multiple times and participated in combat operations as the senior search and rescue medic with Task Force Ranger in Mogadishu, Somalia, during the Black Hawk Down battle in 1993, as a Special Forces Battalion surgeon during Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan in 2005, and as the Joint Theater Trauma System Pre-Hospital Medical Director again in Afghanistan in 2010. He is a diplomate of the American Board of Emergency Medicine and was recently named one of the inaugural USU School of Medicine Distinguished Alumni Recognition recipients. Please welcome Dr. Robert Mabry.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here, and it's an honor that you've asked me to give a few remarks. The ceremony today is but one of many milestones on your journey. Becoming a doctor involves lots of milestones. Most of them involve waiting on the mail. Think about it. For undergraduate, you take a test, you wait. You apply, you wait. Medical school, you take a test, you wait. You apply, you wait. And you're still not done. You repeat this process several more times for internship, for residency, for fellowship. Reminds me when I was here as a senior at USU and I went to my son's 5th grade Take Your Dad to School Day, where they talk about your career and what you do. I introduced myself and I said, hello, I'm Jake's dad, and I'm in 20th grade. You can see all the little kids' heads just sink, completely demoralized, like, oh my gosh, there's 15 more grades. But don't worry, you guys are getting close. You only have 5 to 10 more grades to go. While all the milestones are important, this one today, the white coat ceremony, is especially important. Your ceremony today marks your transition from the pure science of medicine into the humanity of medicine. You move from the classroom to the exam room, to the patient's room, to the operating room. Deeply implicit in this ceremony today is a sacred trust that's being placed on you. We're entrusting you to lay your hands on people, to touch them, to examine them, to have them tell you the most deepest and intimate personal details about their lives in order to help them heal, to help them stay healthy, to help them live the best life that they can live. These human interactions will be just as important, perhaps more so, than the science that you learn. Theodore Roosevelt once said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. In other words, how do you find the right balance between logic and emotion? This is a challenging skill to learn. It's also a core element of being a great doctor. You're expected to learn this through your interactions with your patients as you enter this next phase of your education. Your patients will become your teachers. Our patients happen to be the men and women of the armed forces and their families. If you don't know already, these are not normal people. On your internal medicine rotation, the elderly 90-year-old that you see in clinic wasn't always frail and stooped with age. He was once young and strong, like you are, when he may have landed on Normandy or fought across bloody nameless atolls in the South Pacific during World War II. 5 years ago, there were nearly 1 million like him. Now, only about 300,000 are left. The so-called dependent spouse you see in family medicine clinic might seem distracted when you talk to him or her, but you'll find out that maybe their spouse is in Afghanistan or Syria or Iraq for their 5th or 6th deployment in as many years. And during that time, they've been alone, without family nearby, doing the work of two, trying to hold down a job of their own while raising children who seem to have one medical problem after another. The 40-year-old Master Sergeant you see in the ortho clinic enlisted in September of 2001 after the Twin Towers went down, and has spent nearly his entire career deploying to combat. His back, knees, shoulders, everything hurts all the time, but he keeps driving on. On certain days of the year, he sits alone on his deck and raises a glass in memory of the many teammates and friends who never came home. He remembers their faces and the smells and the sounds of that day. These are our patients. They are my family. As servicemen and women yourselves, they are your family as well. Take care of them. The school has prepared you well for the science, but the human part's really up to you. So as I wrap this up today, my advice to you is to be ever mindful of your patients. They will teach you everything you need to know if you're willing to see, to listen, and to learn. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mabry. On behalf of all students, staff, and faculty at USU, thank you for attending the White Coat Ceremony for the Uniformed Services University of the Health Sciences F. Edward A. Baer School of Medicine, Class of 2024. To close the ceremony, please enjoy a few messages from our faculty.
Hi, Class of 2024.
Hey, Class of 2024.
Hello, Class of 2024.
Greetings to the Class of 2024 from the Val Hemming Simulation Center.
Hello, Class of 2024.
Hello to the Class of 2024.
Hi there, Class of 2024.
Class of 2024.
Class of 2024.
Hi, Class of 2024.
Hello, Class of 2024.
Congratulations, Class of 2024. Today is an important symbol on the path of becoming a physician. Soon we will entrust you to care for thousands of the most important people we know. My hope is that this ceremony stands as a reminder to the journey you are on. You are not simply students studying for the next test, checking off boxes to get a degree. Instead, you're learning the foundations of the patient care you're going to be giving for decades. I've gotten to know many of you, especially the 8 who've had to learn interviewing and physical examining me. From them, I know your outstanding abilities and limitless potential, which every other action has confirmed.
This is Dr. Pangaro, Interim Dean of the school. What does a white coat mean? Well, it keeps us clean, doesn't it? It protects us from whatever may get on our clothes so we don't bring it home. But it does more than that. It protects our patients. It represents the promise of duty and the promise of expertise that we make and give to our patients every day.
Congratulations on your white coat ceremony. It's an exciting day to be able to put on the white coat. Doesn't matter if it's long or short. There will almost never be enough pockets in that thing for you to carry all the things you think you need to feel real inside of it. But just know that that is the international symbol of care and compassion and professionalism. And you've earned the right to wear it. And I'm thrilled for you.
And congratulations for donning your white coat for the first time. This is a special moment that will lead you to a privileged opportunity to give heartfelt and compassionate care to all of your patients.
I just wanted to take a minute to say congratulations congratulations on your white coat ceremony and receiving your very first white coat. I have very vivid memories of my own white coat ceremony here at USU. And what it meant to me to be able to get that short white coat and know that I was moving on to that next part in my career and getting recognized as a member of the medical profession. And I still love getting to put on my white coat. When I graduated from medical school, my gift from my sister was my very own monogrammed white coat. And although it's a little frayed and a little beat up, I still keep it because it really reminds me of why I'm in medicine, because it's sort of that sign that you are the doctor and you are really impacting those patients' lives. So I hope you are as excited as I am about you getting your white coats and moving on in your next step towards becoming USU alumni and joining us. So congratulations and really enjoy this special day. Take care.
My name is Dr. Joseph Loperiato, the Medical Director. On behalf of the staff of the Simulation Center, we wish you well on your white coat ceremony today, representing the first steps in your journey through the profession of medicine. The volunteer patients you saw at the Sim Center and at the hospital were your first teachers, and I hope they began to instill in you a sense of caring and compassion that we know is necessary in the conduct of patient care. A special shout out to Group 1 and to the whole class of 2024 from the Simulation Center for a job well done. We will see you the rest of the academic year at the Sim Center.
For congratulations on this milestone in the beginnings of your careers in medicine. 2 months ago, I had the privilege of discussing with you your future roles in the uniformed services, specifically that of physician, that of officer, and that of leader. Over my left shoulder is a bust of Aesculapius, and that reminds me of the long traditions of medicine and how we've grown since then and how we will continue to grow throughout your careers and beyond. And as leaders, how you can help shape that. So I hope that I'll be able to help you on this journey, as will any of the faculty in military and emergency medicine.
I hope to meet all of you in person, or at least at your time at USU. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Kuda out in Washington State, and I'm one of your remote faculty. I am so excited for your white coat ceremony because this is the line in the sand for you, your true starting line. You've heard it that training to become a physician is a marathon, but it may feel like a series of sprints as well. Both are true in medical school and as you progress in your careers. Just remember, you are not alone in this race. You have your classmates, but all of us out here running with you, taking breaks sometimes, and then sprinting some more. We're here cheering for you and maybe a little helpful along the way, so come find us if you need anything.
I'm honored to get to say a few words to all of you on this special occasion. I'm Courtney Judd from the Department of Pediatrics, and I know I haven't met a lot of you yet, but those I have met are outstanding. So I want to give a special congratulations to the amazing fire teams that were in my foundation's crew, to Zoya, Dane, Pa, Zach, Nick, Andy, Maria, and Cecilia. You're awesome. Keep up the good work. And it's been great getting to know you. The white coat ceremony for me has taken on a deeper meaning over the years, especially as I get to watch a new class and relive it and take the oath again with them each year. The white coat itself can feel kind of heavy at times. It comes with a lot of responsibility and privilege. We have the privilege of taking care of the best patient population imaginable, our military personnel and their families. But I also want to acknowledge that the white coat can have a meaning that won't feel as heavy if you think about it as the sign of being part of a community. And today you put on that white coat and we get to welcome you. We have the privilege of saying that you are part of our military medical community for life. Your peers will be a big part of that, but so will the faculty. So you're never going to be alone. You will have this team and family behind you, supporting you all along the way, from here through graduation and well beyond. So I hope you don those white coats and you feel that every step of the way. And I look forward to seeing all of those white coats in person. Take care.
I'm Aaron Seguil, your Regional Dean for Education here in San Antonio. I just want to congratulate congratulate you today as you put on the white coat for the first time. It's a very powerful symbol, and so much of what we do comes down to symbols. The uniform that we wear is a symbol. The stethoscope we drape around our neck or put in our pocket is a symbol, and the white coat is a symbol as well. It's our guarantee to America's mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, spouses, partners, and children, that we will stand in the gap to make sure that their loved ones come home after fighting our nation's battles, after helping out in hotspots around the world. So thank you so much for taking on this responsibility. I'm excited to see you grow over the course of these next 3.5, almost 4 years, and can't wait for you to visit us down here in San Antonio. God bless.
Dr. Moranich, congratulations on receiving your white coat. It's such a special day in the life of a medical student. I so look forward to working with you guys over the next 4 years and watching you guys grow into amazing physicians. USU is so lucky to have you all. You make a great addition to the USU physician family.
I'm Catherine Whitcoff. I'm the Associate Dean for Medical Education, and I'm thrilled to speak with you on the occasion of your white coat ceremony. 27 years ago, I was a first-year medical student in your shoes, and I got to participate in the very first white coat ceremony, which was held at Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons, where Dr. Arnold Gold was a professor of clinical neurology and clinical pediatrics. He felt the white coat ceremony would be a way to introduce humanism in medicine at the very start of medical education. It was such a thrill to be there that day, and I'm so thrilled to be with you all today. I'm looking forward to watching you develop over the next 4 years and to join the long list of accomplished USU alumni.
So excited to be welcoming you to this next phase of your medical school career as you finish your white coat ceremony. I'll be honest, I am jealous. I've never had a white coat, but I've always wanted one. And I think that tradition that you as physicians in training have, and the significance of what that means to take care of patients in that very special way, is something that I hope you hold on to today. I know this ceremony looks a lot different than maybe what you would envision, but I want you to know that the fact that you all were willing to step forward in one of the greatest public health crises that our country has faced and serve our country as a physician, I think is a higher calling, and I really appreciate it. I look so forward to working with you all throughout the rest of your time here at USU, and I hope you enjoy and cherish this day and this moment. Take care.
I remember putting on my white coat for the first time in my first year of medical school as I prepared to head to the hospital and have the opportunity to interface with patients directly for the first time as a medical student. This is a really critical piece of the journey to become a physician and to understand the incredible privilege that we have to enter into the lives of our patients, to learn from them with ultimately the goal of being there to help them through the ups and downs of their personal lives. I'm excited to be a part of your journey in medicine and to see where this path takes you. So congratulations to each and every one of you on this momentous day.
Congratulations. Reach out at any time. We're here to help you be the type of physician, officer, and leader that you want to be.
I look forward to watching you grow over the course of these next several years and hope you relish in this day. Congratulations.
Good luck and congratulations.
All the best in all your adventures at USU and in medicine.
Congrats.
Congratulations, class of 2024.
Congratulations on your first steps on becoming a clinician, and I look forward to working with you in the hospital.
Congratulations on your white coat ceremony.
Congratulations on achieving this really important milestone in your journey to becoming a physician.
Congratulations again. Wear this white coat with the pride and integrity it ultimately represents.
Wear your white coat proudly, and welcome to patient care.